Rise Career Exploration is financially supported by listeners like you. Every dollar helps towards future podcast episodes. Click on the link in the show notes or visit us at risecareer.org today. Thank you for your support. Enjoy the show. And remember, together we rise.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, welcome everyone. I'm your host, Corey Alexander, licensed school counselor, author, and entrepreneur. And this is Rise Career Exploration, the podcast, where we interview guests on their professional journeys. Choosing a career can be one of the most difficult decisions of your life. Join me as we interview guests on their professional journeys. You'll find that the twists and turns of career struggles aren't unique to you, and that the path to your dream profession isn't always a straight line. Whether you are a student who wants to learn what it takes to be in a specific career, or just want to hear some great career advice, this podcast is for you. All right, so we're here with Rawn Brown, ACE and TRX Level 2 certified personal trainer with over 20 years experience in the fitness industry. After serving a New Jersey gym as the head personal trainer and trainer's trainer for a little over 10 years, Rawn now operates his own gym, Rawn B Fitness and Wellness Center in Montclair, New Jersey. Additionally, Rawn has a BA in Communications, TV and Film Production from the HBCU Howard University and had previously worked in the sports and TV entertainment business for 20 years. Welcome, Rawn. Thank you for taking the time to visit with us.
Thanks for having me, Corey.
Sure. So let's jump right in. Our guest question for this episode is from School 2 in Paterson, New Jersey, courtesy of teacher Alexander Hansen. The question is from Delaney Santione. When did you first know you wanted to be a personal trainer?
Well, that's an interesting story. Like you mentioned, I have a BA in TV and film production. So, of course, when I got out of school, my first move was to get a job in TV and film, which is what I did. My first job was at CBS Sports.
Oh, wow.
But as many of us grow to figure out that your first job doesn't usually pay that well. When I first got out of college, my first job, I was making $19,000 a year. All right. But at the time I was an avid gym goer. I worked out 5 days a week. And I happened to come across one of my boys. He was a personal trainer. I didn't know he was training, but I saw him working out with some people. And I asked him, we hadn't seen each other in a while. I'm like, when did you start training? He's like, recently. And I said, how much you make? And he told me how much he made. I said, for doing that? And he's like, yes. I was like, okay. I went out and got certified very shortly thereafter.
Okay. And what year was that?
This was 1992.
Okay. How long does it reasonably take to become a certified fitness trainer, and what's the process from start to finish?
All right, so there's two avenues. One, if you're in college, you can major in exercise science or kinesiology or any of those fitness majors. So you can get a 4-year degree in exercise science. Or if you want to go the certification route, I'm currently certified in ACE, American Council on Exercise. And it all depends on the individual. You can take as long as you need to, because it's a lot of information. It could take as little as 6 weeks, or it could take as long as 6 months.
Okay.
If you're somebody who's able to learn on their own, you can take your time, or you can go as fast as you like, because at the end of the day, you got to study the material and take a test. The test usually is comprised of 150 questions. A lot of information that's covered in that exam. So some people learn in the classroom. You have that option. You can learn on your own. But at the end of whatever route you take, you have to take an exam. Okay. So it could take 6 weeks, or it could take 6 months, or a year.
And how long did it take you?
I took the short route. It took me 2 months.
Okay. And you passed your first try?
Yes.
Okay. Was it online or at the time, was it online or you had to go in?
It was at a testing center.
Okay. All right. How hard or easy was it to get a job once you got your fitness certifications?
Honestly, it wasn't hard at all. I interviewed for 4 positions at 4 different gyms, and I got offered all 4 positions.
Oh, wow.
So once I put my mind to it that that's what I wanted to do, it wasn't hard at all.
Okay. So you're certified, went through the training, etc. I'm sure no one is concerned with certifications on social media. How has social media and promoting exercise routines online help or negatively affect your business?
As far as social media goes, I think it has only positively affected my business. And I say that to say, I've gotten quite a few clients from social media. They see the type of work that I do with my clients. They see my classes, and it's just something that appeals to a lot of people. And, I get a lot of inquiries from social media. The only negative thing I would say, well, there are a couple of negative things. Those people who go on their fitness journey and they figured it out, whichever way they figured it out, they lose a ton of weight. It's like, oh, I could teach other people how to do this.
Yeah.
No real experience on how to work with people and teach people how to do things, but they figured they did it, then I can show other people how to do it. So the lack of experience from people who are on social media, not necessarily knowing the right way to do things, because you'll watch some videos and you'll see somebody who's lost a ton of weight, who's actively exercising, and they don't always do things the right way. Mm-hmm. But they think that since I lost this weight, I can become a trainer and I can show somebody else how to do it. And it doesn't always work that way.
Yeah.
So that would be one negative that I could point out from social media.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yep. So you had a very popular boot camp in your previous gym. How do you start your own classes in a gym, and are there certifications you need to get first?
Well, regarding certifications, there are specific certifications for group classes. So like say an aerobics class or a spinning class, you need a spin certification, you need an aerobics certification. But in terms of boot camps, you can get a boot camp certification, but boot camps are, especially when they involve circuit training, hit circuits, stuff like that. That's all that is personal training on a larger scale.
Okay.
So there's no specific, certification I would need for that. But if I wanted to teach a spin class or have an aerobics class, I would need a specific certification for that.
Got you. Can you describe some of the early mistakes you've made when you first started?
I always get caught up in questions like this about, mistakes or what's something that you could do better. One of the things I think about when it comes to personal training is that when I first started out, I wasn't as aggressive as I could have been. And when I say aggressive, I mean, I'm a pretty outspoken person when it's needed. But, I would talk to a person and they would give me a rejection. I'm like, all right, cool. Thanks for your time, and keep it moving. Another thing I would have liked to have done is learn more about sales. What a lot of trainers don't realize is you got to sell yourself. It's not about what you know about anatomy and about kinesiology and how the body moves. You can have all the book knowledge you want, but if you don't know how to sell yourself or sell what you're offering, you're not going to succeed as a trainer. A lot of trainers get into training and think, oh yeah, I'm going to get everybody in shape. But if nobody knows about you and know what you're offering, you're not going to do well. So I wish I would have learned more about sales sooner. I wish I would have been more aggressive sooner. When you start getting those rejections and your skin starts to get a little tougher, you're like, okay, I just got to keep it pushing. Yeah. Even this person, they may not realize they need my training, but I'm going to convince them that they need my training. So, Sales 101. Ignore the rejection.
Yeah. Got you. That's great advice. Thank you for that.
Yep.
So I was gonna ask, what advice would you have for a new fitness trainer starting out? But it seems like learning sales, thick skin.
Yes.
Anything else?
Be a people watcher. You know, if you watch as a personal trainer at a gym, if you're at a gym and you're on duty and you're working the floor, a lot of times when you start out as a personal trainer, you got to work the floor. You know, put away the weights, make sure the gym is clean, answer questions. But at the same time, you need to be watching people, because I got a lot of my clients from watching people and how badly they do exercise. You know, poor form, you know, just messed up. And you approach these people like, you know, I can show you a better way to do this exercise, a safer way to do this exercise.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes people will say, no, I got it, I'm good. It's like, okay. But a lot of people are open to it. So just by people watching, you know, you're an exercise person, you know, the lat pull down was where I made my bread and butter. The lat pull down was right near the front desk. And I would sit there right across, the lat pull down was right there. I would just watch. And 7 out of 10 people would do it wrong. And I would close 5 out of 10 people just from that exercise.
Good numbers.
You know, I would walk up to him like, I would ask, he said, sir, ma'am, you know, what are you trying to accomplish with this exercise? He said, well, I'm trying to build up my biceps. I said, okay, that is a function of this exercise, but, you know, I can show you a better way to get more out of the exercise. Yeah. Oh, yeah, sure, please. You know, most people are open to it. Some people aren't. But for those that are open to it, that's your opening, that's your door to have a conversation. It's all about conversations and building relationships. When it comes to being a personal trainer, you got to build relationships with people. You know, when I work with younger trainers coming in, I said, you got to plant seeds. You got to plant seeds and you got to water them. One of the things I did as a new trainer, I learned everybody's name that came into the gym.
Wow.
People love hearing their name.
Oh, no question. You know? No question.
You walk into the gym, hey, Jim. Hey, Frank. Mary, how you doing? Hey, Rod. You know, people love that you remember their name, especially when you're in a gym like I was in, where it's one of one. So it's not a franchise. So you really get to know people and, you know, build relationships with them. And that's what it's about, building relationships and building rapport with people.
So that leads to my next question. How was your experience training trainers? Did you tell them the stuff now, or you learned this stuff later? Like what did you coach them on as training a trainer?
Well, one of the things, like I mentioned about planting seeds. Yeah. One of the biggest things about trainers, like in all the books, you know, it's building rapport. Yeah. Rapport is one of the most important things, even before you get a client, you know, building relationships, you know, give away free sessions. One of the biggest pieces of advice I gave to young trainers was plant the seed, find yourself a project. When I say project, somebody who wants to lose a lot of weight, offer them free training. Offer them free training as often as you feel comfortable. They're gonna take it. If you're offering free training, most people will take it. Yeah. Some people won't because they're just that embarrassed. Yeah. But for those that will accept it, train them as often as you can, or as often as you feel comfortable. And you make that person a project, and you ask them if you can document the journey. All right? If you train this person as frequently and as often as possible, and you give them the program that they need to transform, you're gonna take this person from having to lose 100 pounds and helping them get to that point. 1, they'll be forever in your debt. 2, now you have something to show of what you're capable of. Yeah. You know, I can do this for you. You know, this is how we did this. So now you have some proof in the pudding of your abilities, you know, what you can do and what you're capable of. And that's how you start to build. Yeah. You know, and that's important for young trainers because a lot of times they get rejected, you know, or they're just so inexperienced with working with people that they make mistakes or somebody may get hurt. You know, if you're offering somebody free training you got a lot more rope.
Yeah, of course.
If somebody was paying you.
Yeah.
You know, so that's one of the biggest pieces of advice I give to new trainers. You know, find a project. Don't worry about the money right now. The money's gonna come. You know, help this person reach their goals, and you build off of that.
Yeah, they're a walking business card for you going forward.
Exactly.
You got a testimony, a walking testimony. Yeah.
So you got marketing, testimonials, and free advertising. Yeah. This person is going to talk about you like you saved their life, because in essence,
because you might have saved their life. Yeah.
So they're gonna love you, and then you build that relationship, you know, and they tell everybody about you, and that's all you ask. It's like, this is what I'm offering. I'm offering to train you 5 times a week for 30 to 60 minutes. All I ask is when we get through this journey that you tell everybody about what you went through and what we did, what we accomplished, and that's all I ask. Yeah,
and that worked major for you. That was one of your major.
That was major for me. Yeah. That was major for me, and it works a lot for those who are willing to accept it. Some people are just, the ego's like, nah, I need this money. Which I was like, you think it's too short term.
Yeah.
You got to think long term.
Long term. Yeah, build a relationship. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's great. That's a good tip. With popular documentaries on about meat, like The Game Changers and What the Health, what are your thoughts on the vegan lifestyle and nutrition overall?
I haven't adopted the vegan lifestyle as of yet. You know, I still enjoy meat. I keep my beef intake to a very minimum. You know, only on occasion do I have beef, but you know, I still partake in turkey, chicken, fish, and I keep it as clean as possible. I have an 80-20 rule: eat well 80% of the time, and 20% of the time, enjoy yourself a little bit. As far as, you know, the vegan lifestyle, it has many benefits. Cholesterol, lower hypertension rates. You know, there's so many benefits to eating vegan. I just haven't gone there completely. There are some days where I do have meatless days. You know, I eat a lot of vegetables, a lot of fruit, you know, but I haven't bought into it overall just yet.
Okay. So I've been a realtor for over 8 years, and sometimes I could just tell the person wasn't serious about selling or buying a home. Can you tell if someone is going to give up or stick it out early in your professional relationship?
Absolutely. I do a couple of things to kind of gauge, you know, where a client, or let's stick with clients, where a client's mindset might be. You know, I want to see how aggressive they are in taking in information. You know, I always tell people, you know, what separates me from other trainers is I'm totally committed to you in this process. Mm-hmm. So you can text me, you can email me, you can call me, but I'm usually training, so I won't answer. Mm-hmm. But I get back to you as quickly as possible. Engage with me. You know, if you're in a grocery store and you have a question, text me and I'll give you an answer. You know, those people who engage with me the most have the most success. Mm. So people who don't engage, I kind of look at them kind of like, well, why aren't you engaging? I'm offering this information and myself to you to help you in this process. Mm-hmm. Another way that I can tell if somebody's committed, if they come late. 30-minute sessions, 60-minute sessions. A 30-minute session, if you're 10 minutes late for a 30-minute session, how committed are you? You cancel frequently. You know, if you cancel on me, I still get paid. You know, unless you cancel within outside of 24 hours. You know, but if you cancel, if you cancel when I'm already asleep, you lose. All right, if you cancel an hour before your session, what's going on? Yeah. Granted, I get there emergencies, but a person's level of commitment, that's a good gauge. Cancellations and non-engagement.
Yeah, got you. That makes sense. How do you keep your clients motivated and engaged? That's what makes you unique.
Right. Motivation. So a lot of my clients say I motivate them, but I don't think I'm a motivator per se, because the motivation has to come from you.
That's what I agree.
You know, I'm not a yeller. There's some trainers that, and you know, that's not me. Mm-hmm. You know, I always tell my clients, I'm a guide. I'm a guide on your journey. I know where you need to go. I know what you need to do. I'm going to steer you in the right direction. Yes, I'm going to say some things sometimes to kind of pump you up and get you amped up. But overall, the motivation has to come from you.
Gotcha.
Like, you have to find it inside of you to get up for your 6 a.m. session because you want to, not because you have to. Yes, of course you have to, because your health, you know, you have to do it. Yeah. But you have to want to get up at 6 a.m. or be here for a 6 a.m. session because that's something that you want to do.
Yeah, I got you.
So that motivation has to come from you. The dedication has to come from you. I'm committed. I'm going to be here and I'm going to be ready for you. That's what you're going to get from me. You're going to get commitment. You're going to get dedication. You're going to get preparation. I'm going to be prepared for you. Mm-hmm. All right. And I'm going to give you my all. I'm up the night before working on your next session, or the 2 days before working on your next session, because I want to be prepared. So when you come in here, I'm ready to go and we're going to get it in. People look at 30-minute sessions. What am I doing a 30-minute session?
No, yo.
Let me show you. Let me show you. So that's because I'm prepared.
Yeah.
You know, I'll get in more in a 30-minute session than a lot of trainers get in a 60-minute, an hour and a half session.
Yeah. Preparation.
You know, it's about efficiency and preparation.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, motivation. Yeah, I'll motivate you, but the motivation has to come from you.
Yeah, got you. Yeah. And you just tap in what they already have inside. Yeah.
Exactly.
So what is the most appealing aspect of being a fitness trainer? I can guess, but what is it to you? Well,
that's a multi-layered answer. I love working with people. I like helping people. Like, that feeling. Like, I'll give you an example about a woman who engages with me a lot. All right, she sends me her whatever she weighs herself, you know, and she wants me. So, you know, I need you to stay on me. I need you to stay on me. And that engagement, it gets me amped up. When she gets excited, when that scale is going down, I get pumped up, you know, and then she's pumped up. So helping people, the money is great. Those two things that I get, helping and money, it never feels like work.
Yeah.
You know,
that's fantastic.
I've never been a morning person. Like, I'm not a morning person, but I'm up at 5 a.m., 4:30, because that's what my clients need me to be up at 4:30 or 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
If I had my choice, I wouldn't get out of bed till 8 o'clock. But my people need me to be here.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, you committed.
Right. I'm committed to them. They're committed to this process, so I'm committed to them.
Yeah.
That commitment, working with people, being around people, being there for people, and like I said, the added bonus, the money is great.
Yeah. Cool. And conversely, what is the least appealing aspect of being a fitness trainer?
Getting up at 4 a.m. Getting up at 4 a.m. And on days that I'm up at 4 a.m., not closing and shutting the lights off till 8 p.m.
Oh, wow.
You know, that's a long day.
Yeah, that's a long day.
But you can imagine, I'm only here if I'm training. Yeah. So I'm training from 5 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Wow.
It's a lot of clients.
Yeah. Praise God.
Praise Him. But, you know, that is one of the downfalls of training, is that you got long hours because you got to be with the clients.
Yeah. When they're available, you got to make yourself available. Yeah.
Right. But I'm built different. You know, a lot of trainers burn out after, you know, working those kind of hours, but they keep me going, and I love it.
Yeah, good. What are some of the ways fitness trainers can maximize earning potential?
That's a great question. So for me, as a business owner, the way I can maximize is scaling my business.
Yeah.
So I've been open since May. So we're going on, 7 months? scaling for me is hiring more trainers, which I'm in the process of doing. You know, I kind of enjoy being here by myself, working with people, having this big space to myself. But to maximize, I need to scale. Another way to maximize is classes. You know, I would love to build a full class schedule where, you know, 15, 20 people in the class, that 1 hour is leveraged. You know, so I would say the number one way for a personal trainer to maximize is to get more involved in classes.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
You know, because then you leverage that time, more people, more money.
In the same hour. Yeah. Nice. Makes perfect sense. People think owning a business is glamorous, which sometimes it is, but what has been some of the challenges, some you anticipated and some that are surprising of running your own gym?
So far, everything that I've anticipated in terms of the challenges. Perfect example, a couple of weeks ago, had a water line break in one of my bathrooms. So, replacing the water line, and there comes added difficulties with that because of COVID, supply chain issues.
Yeah.
Vendors, i.e. plumbers, marking up their prices, and then the damage that is caused by the water line breaking because there was a flood. So I'm on the 3rd floor, so water travels, gravity takes it down. So I affected another person in the building. So now I have to reimburse them for the damage that they received. So, you know, that is something I anticipated. You know, there's always going to be issues. Another issue that I had to deal with was trying to hire a massage therapist and an esthetician. Estheticians, they do facials.
Okay.
Those are some of the other services that I've implemented to help me grow my business. Some of the challenges I've had with that is actually hiring people. I don't know if you've heard, but you know, a lot of businesses have had issues hiring people.
Yeah.
And it's been no different for me. Wow. You know, and then once I got qualified applicants, many of them were not vaccinated.
Oh.
And that's important for this industry.
Of course, because
you're in close proximity to people.
Yeah.
Clients want to know that the practitioner is vaccinated for them to feel safe. A lot of the people that I interviewed or attempted to interview were not vaccinated. So that posed another layer of problems. So, you know, there's always going to be challenges. So it's just how you deal with the challenges and pivot and keep it moving.
Yeah,
it's always about keeping it moving.
Yeah. I would expect opening your own gym has been floating in your mind for, you know, quite some time. You work at a gym for a number of years. You probably walk around a gym, I would do this different, I would do this different. So what has been the most rewarding part of opening your own gym?
Not having to answer to anybody. That was one of the biggest issues. And I don't have an issue with answering to somebody. I don't have an issue with authority at all.
Yeah.
It's just when that person in a position of power abuses that power and doesn't appreciate the people who earn the money for that company.
Yeah.
You know, that's when it becomes an issue. You know, and not just myself, but I saw the way that my fellow trainers were being treated, and I was a bit outspoken about it. And, you know, it just, something in my head was like, you know, this is not it.
Yeah.
You know, being your own boss and owning your own business, it's not for everybody.
Of course.
It's not for everybody. You know, trainers always say, yeah, I want to open up my own place. They don't know what's involved. You know, being an entrepreneur, a business owner is different. You know, it's a lot of work, and a lot of people are just not built for it.
Yeah.
You know, but it's something that I have always wanted to do. I've been an entrepreneur my whole life.
Yeah.
You know, my whole life as a 10-year-old, going up to people, you know, what can I do for you? I had an auto detailing business at 13.
Wow.
You know, I was I was doing it all. You know, if there was a way to make money from it, I was doing it. So this was the ultimate, dream for me. Yeah. You know, so it was gonna happen one way or the other.
Yeah. Cool. You know, the thing is, like, back in the day, I used to go to the gym so much. Me and my wife used to meet at lunch, go to the gym. And I was thinking it'd be a great side hustle to be a trainer. But my wife she wasn't trying to hear it because she felt like the proximity of me coming in contact with so many different women that it would cause like some attraction. This is totally off topic, but is it like a big babe magnet thing to be a personal trainer?
There is no. I get it.
Because you in shape, you helping them, the proximity, the relationship.
Right, but outside of being a trainer, just being a trainer in a gym and being in shape, you're gonna draw attention. You know, I would say upwards of 60 to 70% of my clientele is female. Mm-hmm. But it all ranges, the ages range, from 21 up to 70.
Yeah.
But a large majority of my clients are female. So of course there's that cause for concern, but I don't mix. I'm about my money. I got goals.
Yeah.
I don't need anything messing with my goals.
I got you.
So I'm very laser focused and got tunnel vision.
Yeah, I got you.
So, that part of it is not an issue for me.
Good. Where do you see the fitness industry in the next 5 years?
Continuing to grow. A lot. You mentioned in an earlier question about maximization for a trainer. A lot of it is moving to the online virtual world.
Yeah. And
not just virtual training, but online training where you're training a lot of people, and you're utilizing less of your time. So you're building platforms, building apps. I haven't gone that way because I'm old school, and I'm gonna dive into it a little bit, but I like being in front of people. Like during COVID, I did a lot of virtual training because that's what I needed to do. Yeah. At first it was challenging for me because I like to position people. I like to be in front of people. Yes, you're in front of a camera, but I can't see every angle. And you can spend a lot of time trying to position a person, trying to figure it out. Whereas if they're in front of you, you can just walk around them and make that adjustment.
Yeah.
So, that's where the industry is going, a lot online. Virtual online and programs and apps. Just like COVID, people went to their phone or their computer, popped in exercise, boot camp, HIIT, or whatever, and they just followed along online.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it's headed a lot, and hopefully a lot of trainers will adapt so that they can keep up. But I'll do this for as long as I can.
Yeah.
Because this is what I like to do.
Yeah. So we're about to hit our last question, but what would you tell someone interested, looking into it, that I might not have asked you? Like, what would be something you would like them to know, our listeners that's thinking about it, considering the industry, whatever you think is important for them to know that I didn't ask?
Couple of things. So if becoming a trainer is something that someone is interested in, it can't be about the money. Money cannot be your first priority. You gotta be passionate about it. Because like I said, the hours are long. If you wanna make money, the hours are long. Granted, personal training rates have increased and you get more money for less time now. But if you wanna make good money, you're gonna have to put in the time. So you gotta love what you do. You gotta be passionate about it. If you're in it just for the money, it's not for you. So the passion, the determination, and you gotta be able to talk to people. Like if you're shy and you can't leave that shyness and transform yourself. I wouldn't consider myself to be shy, but I'm an only child. I grew up an only child, so I like to do things on my own. I'm a loner.
Yeah, me too.
And I let people in, and I have a lot of friends, but I'm perfectly okay being by myself. Perfectly fine being by myself. So I'm able to leave that quiet, reserved person when I walk into the gym where I was previously working or my studio. I can be somebody else. Not that it's not me, it's in me, but I'm able to bring that person out and be bubbly or be more outspoken. And then sometimes I'm just, sitting there watching and giving input where it's needed.
Yeah.
So you got to be able to talk to people. You got to be comfortable with talking to people, like just having conversations. You got to be okay with rejection. Get used to hearing no a lot. If you can't handle rejection and you can't adjust to rejection, it's not for you.
Yeah.
And just study your craft. The way you keep up on trends and what's new in the industry is you take continuing ed classes. Continuing education is important. You're required to do it as a trainer. Depending on the certification you have, a certain amount of hours you're supposed to do per year to just keep your skills and knowledge up to what's current.
Yeah.
And even just to brush up on old stuff.
Yeah.
So, the time and commitment and the financial commitment to that as well. So
that's good. Yeah. Yeah. I like that because I work in a middle school and I came from a high school and they require more energy. And I'm really reserved. I'm a quiet person. I'm really laid back. I got sense of humor and all of that, but I'm kind of quiet. I grew up in a house by myself, like you said. And so, but the middle school need energy. So I come in there and I'm like, energy, what's up, what's up, what's up? Because I know that's what's required in the position, in my profession to excel and to serve the community that I'm serving. So that's a great tip for the listeners. I hope young people can pick up on that. Just adapting for the environment and, getting that energy up for whatever's needed. Yeah, that's good.
And you're usually exhausted by the time you get home.
Yeah. Well, we've come to our last question. I want you to know that we appreciate your time and we hope listeners are better for it. Our last question is this. If you could text your younger high school or college self, who would you text and what would the message be?
Wow. Can I text both of them?
No, you can only text one of them, your high school or your college self. Who would you text and what would the message be?
I would text my college self and I would tell him that you need to switch your major to exercise science. I spent 20 years in the TV industry. I loved it. Yeah. It was great, but I would have made a lot more money personal training if I started in my 20s, full time. Yeah. I didn't start training full time until I was in my late 30s, early 40s. Okay. So it was always a part-time thing, but I was like, yo, bruh, you need to train earlier in life.
All right. That's good. Hey, Ron, we appreciate you. Many blessings to Ron, gym, fitness, and wellness. I'm going to put all your socials in the show notes. Okay. And I'm blessed, and I hope people are blessed for this interview and they learn more about the fitness industry and what it takes to excel. And I hope if they consider it, this was a blessing to them.
I hope so too. I appreciate you for having me, Corey. Anytime you need me, bro, you just call me, man. I'm here.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate you.
All right, bro.
All right. Blessings. Take care.
All right.
Thank you for spending time with us. Please share, review, and subscribe now. Follow us on social media where we post new guest alerts and show recaps. All the information will be in the show notes. Thank you and be blessed.